Hello, all my dear friends. Today I'm going to talk about what if England and France united and what if the world sees this happening? What will be the major events that the world will see and what would happen? Today's video is going to talk about what if England and France united at the height of the Hundred Years' War. So please click on this entire video and click on it entirely and watch the entire PPT video carefully. Don't skip the video and I really hope on you. In this time, Henry V of England does not die after the siege of Mons and the, the destructive campaign to siege Orléans in the Loire Valley should instead be replaced with a more realistic campaign of taking Angers in the western Loire Valley. This was originally to be the focus, however, it was shifted to Orléans because it's more shorter. Anyway, in Angers, a relief French army under Joan of Arc will be destroyed, and the English will enter southern France, taking Poitiers, and then the French will surrender, and England will get control of all of France. As the English will win the Hundred Years' War, the Wars of the Roses, which were directly affected because England has lost the Hundred Years' War in our timeline, will not happen. The new kingdom would intervene in Italy, specifically in Milan and Naples, because in those areas they have a succession crisis, and the English could fill the power vacuum, eventually inviting the Habsburgs to the land. They would fight together, and Habsburgs will eventually surround the Plantagenet house. Both will eventually compete for dominance over the European continent. The 30 Years' War and the English Civil War. At the height of the Habsburgs and the 30 Years' War, United Kingdom will intervene for the Protestants. However, in 1642, they will be knocked out of the war because a civil war broke out in the UK. Because the parliament gets more and more power over the monarchy, and therefore a civil war goes. Under the leadership of Oliver Cromwell, he will create the Commonwealth of England, Scotland, and Ireland and France, until it will come to an end after the monarchy was restored at least. And by 1947, it will be the largest empire in the world before any of its colonies would gain independence. The British Empire would expand across the world to collect resources and build a massive army and eventually to dominate the other great powers of Europe. They would fund wars against the tribes of Native Americans in North America. They would expand into their Indian possessions because in India it was the richest place in the world as the Mughal Empire was beginning to decline. In Oceania, after James Cook had discovered most of Oceania, Britain would claim the land for the British Commonwealth. And in Africa, in the 19th century, with the eventual rise of steam engines and more effective weapons, the British would expand into Africa and would collect all of its resources, making it one of the poorest regions in the world. The British Empire would start collapsing after two world wars. It would start giving independence to its colonies unless if they join the new Commonwealth. It would start with India and end with Brunei, and other countries would also gain independence in between. Hong Kong would be handed over to China, and only some island territories in the Caribbean, the Pacific, and the Indian Oceans would remain part of the British Empire. These are the last remains of the British Empire. Thank you everybody for watching this PPT and clicking on the PPT at the exact time. Please click the like button and subscribe button as well if you haven't subscribed. And if you want to share it to any of your friends if it's interesting, then please share it. You're helping my channel grow very much. Thank you, everybody. Next video will be uploaded tomorrow, and it will be about um, places named after every prime minister in India. So it will be another interesting video, and you should really click on it tomorrow. Thank you, everybody.